Okay, so everything should be good to go. Everything is okay. All right, so before we jump right in, because we know what is about to happen, best to go over what happened last time. So, last time we started directly in the fight against the strange creature made with necrotic energy. After a long fight in which Hoot went down, we were able to successfully put the creature down. And after a bit of investigation, Dorina, you taking a sample vial of the creature's blood, the 5 of you would continue your trek forward, not looking to let creatures like this get in your way. Not knowing the exact route to get to your intended destination, this sanctuary within the Red Vivarium, you continued pressing forward. Hoot, after being healed, your ribs tender from the heavy blow you received in battle, you took the lead as you guided the others further into the woods. From a distance, you could see what appears to be the potential of it clearing up. Unsure of whether or not you'd somehow reached the other edge of the forest, or maybe you turned the wrong direction without realizing. But after some time, it was seen that you were indeed continuing your trek further into the forest. Just that it was clearing up. As you escaped out of the dense, almost wall-like exterior of the tree line of the forest, you were now well within. Light filtering through, easing up the difficulty and seeing for all of the party. And as you stood there, catching your breath, you would notice a large mound, seemingly out of place as no other mounds were in this area. Like it was purposely put there. Mac and Chester investigated, finding a heavy stone door leading down into a foul-smelling ruin. Chester, after inscribing some personal graffiti, you and Mac would immediately head down in, leaving the rest of the party to follow shortly after. As you traversed deeper into the dungeon, the foul smell became more and more present. You start to notice maggots appearing in large number on all parts of the steps, as well as the walls and the ceiling. All the way down, except I think, Chester, you jumped on Mac's back, right? Forcing your brother to carry you so as to avoid the crunching of maggots underneath your feet. Finally, reaching the base, 2 paths lay open to you. To the left, an empty hall that ended in a sharp turn, halfway through, a very obvious trap having been sprung, and wave after wave of maggot crawling up and out of the trap hole left behind. The other path completely open to you, and so you headed down that way, the others following behind, also seeing these things, as well as getting a quick taste of one of the maggots, much to the GM's disgust. Dorina, you would take a moment to quickly look down into the trap hole, and you would see at the bottom 2 bodies, clearly, unfortunate in their demise, covered in these roiling kind of, immense number of the maggots kind of on top of the bodies. You can see a few things down there, but not wanting to take the risk, you stepped back, and the rest of you followed the twins. And so, either way, you'd find yourself to a large room, a number of beds against the wall, and a large wardrobe left behind. Obviously, having been some time since anybody stayed here, Mac, you immediately went to work, trying to break your way into one of these footlockers left at the base of the bed. Nix, you went to the wardrobe, opening it and finding a rather large hole at the back, burrowed through the wall. It was at this moment that the skittering sounds started to approach. Sounds echoing off the stone walls of the dungeon, both towards Chester, who was standing near the door you entered, as well as Nick standing right at the wardrobe. As you stood back, preparing for what was to come, Chester closed the door and giving a warning to the others, as well as giving some space from the doors for whatever is to approach would burst in. Mac, you finally broke into the box, and as you flipped the lid open, a needle sprung out, piercing you across the stomach. As the rocks and dirt and dust started to shake in the open passageway behind the wardrobe, Nix, you knew something was approaching swiftly. And so, this is where we pick up. Microsoft problem. There we go. Okay. So, Nyx, as you stand there, kind of waiting for whatever it is, you have your in your hand the gill hook, right? You got it held in both hands, I suppose, right? It's a two-handed weapon. Yeah, so you have it in both hands. You kind of step back, and before you really get a good look at the creature, it is burrowing and slithering in, larger and larger, larger. You have to take a step back to give it some space as it fills out this wardrobe, and then kind of comes spilling out this armored kind of carapace, interlinked all the way down, and you can see a number of these skittering and sharpened legs, as this is where we will go ahead and activate this. So, all right. So, as this creature spills in from the wardrobe, it fills the room, and finally it kind of stands tall, and these two large red eyes look down at you, and these massive kind of razored pincers on either side kind of clicking together as the mandible kind of snaps open and close a few times. It's at this point that we shall roll initiative, and I'll get some music going as we jump into our second combat. All right. So there we go. And let's see. There we go. Okay. So depending on how you would like to do it, feel free to roll initiative. And let me. Okay. So you don't like how I laid out the battle map?
No, I don't. I don't like how far away I am from my brother, because it means I have to fucking walk over there.
Well, you said you were by the
really
door.
Tragic.
You said you were by the door, you know?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, very terrible roll.
For the record,
on the creature.
I went to the closest chest to the door.
Oh, okay. Is that what happened? All right.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you still have to walk. It's the same distance, I think.
Alright, I'll just roll regular perception this time.
Trill, can you roll for me, please?
Oh,
Perception's
yeah,
fine.
Perception
is fine.
Perception is fine. Okay, then.
I think I said last time I was next to. Right.
There you go. A good roll for actually. It's such a good roll that Mac is up first. So,
Oh, great! The
perfect.
one with
Walk
all
over
the
here.
issues.
Walk
Yeah.
over.
Yeah,
Get over here.
the one with the issues, unfortunately. So, let's get some.
Great, love that.
Let us get some music going really quick. Alright. So.
Beef, how close do I have to be to you?
Next to me. You could just move back.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I'm planning out my moves.
Because I have
Fair enough.
to. So I have to. If you fail your poison save, what I have to do is I have to first draw my healing tools, and then it's 2 actions to actually administer. Or no, it's just 1 action actually. We're good. We'll be fine.
Fair enough. Okay. So, as we begin, Mac, you feel the dart hit your stomach, and then immediately this like sense, kind of like you feel like your body cramping up immediately. I need you to make me a fortitude saving throw. If you need me to, I can also make it for you.
I need you to make me
Okay.
a fortitude
All right.
saving.
All right. There we go.
Sorry.
Oh no.
You don't want him to do it anymore.
Oh no.
No, it's true. What the hell?
I'm
You're supposed to
sorry.
get critical successes.
I'm sorry, dude.
You have a
I'm
hero
so-
point.
You have a hero point. Yeah, you have a hero point. Do you want to reroll that?
Yes.
All right. All right. There we go.
But like, roll good this time.
All right. It's so.
Trill.
All right. Perfect. I love it. Very sorry. Very sorry.
No.
You do. Fortunately.
Drill rolled them.
Yeah. You do unfortunately fail. So you're gonna take, or how does this work? Whoops, that is the wrong poison. Sorry. Trying to see, can I drag it onto you and have you condition poison really quick? Sorry. Conditions. Okay.
It's like an affliction, right?
Yeah. Okay. Poisoned is not an affliction. Okay. So then, I guess here I'll have to. It doesn't make you clumsy or anything else, thankfully. But so I'll have to just do this manually. I'd rather just drag and drop, but I don't know. It's all right.
You might have to do it from chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Okay. So, Mac, you'll take 3 points of damage. And as the poison kind of grips a hold of you, it wants to. It seems like it has much more potency to it, but potentially you got a rather small dose of it, right? You can already feel like your muscles kind of cramping up. It's almost like it wants to stop you from moving, but you are able to move perfectly fine. So, you still have 3 actions. What would you like to do?
I gotta scoot closer to Chester.
Okay.
Can you put me right between Chester and Hoot?
Okay, so first action will be to move.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So you get up between Chester and Hoot. Second action.
Yeah. I don't know what my other 2 actions should be.
Well, you see
'Cause I
this.
gotta be-
Yeah, you see this massive kind of mandibled creature, flowing into the room from the back of this this wardrobe. Nyx is like, standing there with this gill hook ready to kind of like waiting for whatever it is to happen. As you kind of stumble over to your brother.
Yeah. You know what? Can I make it over to the creature with the rest of my movement?
So your total movement is 25. So to get there, let's see.
You could have if you
But I
went
do
a
the-
different direction, but yes.
Yeah, you could definitely get here, and that puts you in the range of the creature. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Can you scoot me there?
that's fine. Yeah.
Instead.
So you rush up towards
Sorry.
this creature. Your brother's like, "Hey, wait, I need to." Yeah, your brother's like, "Hey, wait, I need to."
Sorry, Beef. Sorry, Beef.
As you-
But I'm gonna, and he is gonna attack us, right? Like.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
he's
this.
a mean dude. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's
He's here to
attack
make
him.
friends, Yeah.
Well, you never know.
All right, perfect. All right, so you're gonna target and you're gonna strike with the rapier, right?
Yes.
Are you gonna attempt to feint or anything like that before? Because you still have 2 actions here.
Yeah, I think I contemplated it. I can't trip him because he's too big, right?
I think you could
Two size
definitely.
categories.
I think he's like too.
Oh,
big. So-
yeah. 2 size categories. Yeah.
Yeah, but I can do feint, right?
Right. You absolutely can do feint. Yes.
Okay, let me try that one.
Okay. All right. So you feint towards the creature with the rapier. Let's see. Feint. So you make a deception against the perception of the creature. That is a success. So the creature is flat-footed, and you gain panache, I believe, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Perfect.
then I will normal attack him, please.
Okay. So normal attack. All right. So you're not looking to burn the panache with the finisher just yet.
No, not yet.
Okay. Perfect. Feint is not a. Okay. So feint is not an attack. So this is rolled at normal. unfortunate. Just narrowly missed the creature. Actually, we'll say that you hit the creature, but the armored carapace is a lot stronger than you would anticipate, and so the blade just kind of bounces off and then kind of sideways from the creature's form. So, I believe that is the end of your turn.
Yes.
All right, perfect. Nyx.
Alright, so Nick sees this giant thing coming out of a small wardrobe tunnel. And, well, he had his weapon out, so he's going to stab it a whole bunch.
Perfect. All right, so the way to target is to hover over the token and hit T. That'll target, and then whatever you roll will actually be automatically checked against our AC and all that. Definitely hits. Is it flat-footed? I just want to make it would hit no matter what, so I'm not gonna bother with it. But I think it's technically only flat-footed to people who rolled stealth and have that whole thing, and then Mac. So, okay, all right. Yeah. So 11. Anyways. So yeah, you swing your gill hook forward, grabbing a hold of one of the armored kind of the carapaces of this creature as it flows down the back of its body. You get that kind of hook in and you kind of just rip it away with like the sound of a nasty kind of crunch. You take a large chunk out of the creature.
Alright.
Kind of reels back.
And I try to stab it a little bit more precisely with an exacting strike.
All right. Okay, so if this fails, it does not count towards. Perfect. Yeah, fortunate. So you swing the second time.
Try a third time.
Perfect. The 19 would hit. So. All right, another 6 points of damage. Yeah. So kind of following up, you quickly kind of attempt to just overwhelm the creature with multiple strikes. The second one, unfortunately, not hitting, but the third one kind of, we'll say it like rakes across the spot where you previously tore the carapace away. So, perfect. So that's your 3 turns. And then it is Dorina.
To start off, I would love to yell out, that's truly hideous. I propose we just leave these dark corridors now. Just go back.
Not as bad as the maggots, Dorina.
Yeah.
I think
And
you're poisoned.
Chester only has a problem with the maggots, not the centipede.
in that case, I would just like to cast a forbidding ward on Nyx.
Okay.
Target first and then cast it, right?
Oh yeah, target first and then cast. Although I don't know if it'll. I have to drag it anyways. But either way, forbidding ward. So yeah.
There we go.
Perfect.
Was that on Nyx or was that on?
Wait, who was that on? That was on Hoot or Nyx?
Who is the upper avatar? Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's Nyx.
Sorry.
That's, okay, sorry,
yeah,
sorry.
Nyx, right.
Sorry.
Misclick. Oh my god, sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, Hoot. I mean, maybe I just misheard. That was, Alright, perfect. So.
And I would love to use my remaining movement to run all the way over there.
Okay.
Bye, Dorina.
Yeah, bye. See ya. Perfect. Okay. Hoot.
Just taking some quick steps over there.
I think as he was standing in the middle, hearing sounds coming from both sides, like he already had out his hand crossbow.
For sure.
He's going to try and shoot it in the red eye.
Okay.
Nice one of them.
Perfect. This creature starts to kind of whip itself up into full form. Fortunately, the mangled, twisting body just kind of, whips around, and where the bolt would have originally kind of slammed into this creature, there's now open space that kind of passes through.
Kind of try to again with the second attack.
Alright.
-5.
Second one will hit. So go ahead and roll damage on that one.
That should be with sneak attack because it's still flat-footed.
Correct. You rolled stealth, right?
Oh.
Yeah, I did stealth.
Okay. Standing in the middle of the room. Okay.
Just try and take a keep low. I don't think I was the one burying the torch this time, was I?
Believe you were?
You had one, and Chester had one.
Yeah,
then
yeah, Chester had one.
if it counts it automatic.
And Chester's about to drop his, so
Oh shit.
that in mind.
There's the.
Well,
No, it's all good. It's all good for this time. Yeah. So go
hand
ahead and.
crossbow is one-handed.
Yeah.
But
5 point. Okay. Yeah. So shoot the second bolt quickly, following up with the first, and definitely kind of lands in between the armored spaces of the creature's back.
And then he'd see where this is going and just move on.
Oh, you move?
Yes, that's the last action.
Alright, so as you move, the creature's tail will quickly whip into your direction as it takes an attack of opportunity. As it looks to take a long strike with its tail in your direction. That hits. So you take 3 points of damage. And let me see. It's too bad. Alright. Yeah, so it just kind of reaches out and slaps you across the back. The sharpened edge of the tail not, piercing through. So there you go. And so that is your turn. As now the creature's turn as it stands tall, no longer flat-footed in this moment. Yeah, no longer flat-footed. It's going to stand tall and it's going to strike out towards Nyx with a heavy mandible bite. That is going to hit. First, you're going to take 12 points of damage as the mandible just kind of rips into you. And then I need you to make me a fortitude saving throw.
Alright. Should have that +1 from.
From the Forbidding Ward, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just enough. We'll say the Forbidding Ward is really what's doing it, right? The magical effect helping you along as the bite pierces in, as the creature's mandible kind of pulls away. You can see drips along the wound that you received from the bite of poison that was injected into you, but you're able to just kind of like maybe the mandibles didn't go as deep as they could have, right? So you're able to just kind of shake it off as you kind of lean back. So the first action, it is going to undulate. So as it strides or steps, it can pass through spaces as narrow as 5 feet without squeezing. So the way this will look to you, I can't do anything with the token, but it essentially squeezes up against the wall, like making itself as tiny as possible. I'll say if you have an attack of opportunity, you can take it here as the creature kind of looks to reel away from the people who have stood around it. So go ahead and take a quick attack.
I don't think I have it.
Unfortunately,
I'm
it
actually
misses.
gonna hero point that one.
You're gonna hero point? All right, perfect.
Yeah.
That one would definitely hit. Go ahead and roll damage there. Okay. Very nice. So as the creature starts to attempt to rush away from you, I'll say, Nyx, you step forward and you grab it with the gill hook, piercing the blade through, and then just raking it down the creature's body. And as you do so, the creature is essentially kind of like pseudo bisected down a large length of its body. The guts kind of open up, spilling out. The interior of the creature just starts to spill all at your feet and all around. So there's that. Chester.
Chester, who's going to walk over for one action, draw his healing tools, and treat poison. Which, though, I can just put it in chat. It doesn't check.
More than enough. So wait, the way tree poison works is that
They,
the next saving throw.
So
Okay.
Max still has to roll, but
Yeah.
he gets
Okay.
a bonus.
Yeah, you get the +2 bonus here. Perfect. All right. Very nice. So, is at this moment, so you walked over, you drew, and then you treat poison. So that's all 3 actions.
Yep, that's all.
Perfect. Okay, so yeah, it's at this point then that Dorina, as you are rushing to the door to escape this place, right, to get out of here as best as you can, the door is going to smash open, and in crawls from the opposite side yet another one of these creatures that
Right on top
bashes-
of Dorina.
yeah, basically right there, and it quickly moves into the room, kind of standing at full height, essentially blocking the path from here. So, go. As the second one bursts in, we're going to remove the old one, and we're going to add the new one to the next round of initiative. So, it is just as bad as the first one. Perfect. All right, Mac.
All right. I'm gonna have to scoot over to the guy. I can't see.
Oh,
Straight
sorry.
up.
yeah.
So you're still poisoned, so you need to make a fortitude saving throw.
Okay.
So let me. Yeah, I'll do that first, and you
I
get the.
roll it good this time.
All right, I'll do my best. With a +2 circumstantial bonus, and then we shall roll. So, yeah, more than enough. You shake off the effects of the poison. You are feeling fine, and it's mostly due to Chester stepping in and ensuring that the wound, the draw gets, the poison gets drawn from your blood.
It's the brotherly love.
Yeah.
Chester's gonna get his little cheeks pinched by Mac.
Okay.
yeah. We're very not. We don't pay much attention to anything that goes on around us.
Yeah,
It's
just like,
very
oh, thank
unnerving.
you. You're the best little brother in the whole world.
Perfect.
And now I gotta get over to this new guy. I'll be right back. You stay safe.
Alright. So you're gonna
Like
rush
a little
across.
pat on the cheek, yeah.
Do you want to go above the creature, right up to it? Is there any...
Ooh, Dorina's gonna run away though. Can I go closer to Dorina's side?
like this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
as far as I can. Yeah.
Oh,
That
so
way, if
well, as
Nyx
far
or
as you can,
you
we'll put
wanna-
him. Yeah, as far as you can, we'll put him like
Yeah.
right here.
yeah,
Okay, so somebody
Um,
else may come from the.
can,
Okay,
yeah, go from above.
I get it. All right.
And then I would like to smack. Wait, you know what? Let's try to feint this guy too.
Try to feint this one. We already have panache though,
Oh right, I do.
but feint would help with the extra.
Yeah, it would help with everybody else though, right?
Well, it's just for you. The feint, the
It's just
flat-footedness.
for- Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, so he's only flat-footed against me specifically.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, then I'll just attack him.
Okay, perfect. So Normal attack, nothing to do with the finisher.
What does the finisher grant me again? I forget.
You get extra damage. So the finisher you have is the confident finisher. So, you get the confident finisher action, which essentially it uses up the panache.
There should be a little checkbox you can tick.
Yeah.
When,
I think
I don't have it because I don't have
finisher.
Foundry isn't loading. No, Foundry isn't loading, so I can't see.
Well,
anything.
I know, but for Trill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Little box.
Yeah, and then it's just a normal attack, right? Okay. All right. So, you go for
I think it's loading now. It says it's loading the dungeon fight.
Very nice.
Exciting.
Very. All right.
Yeah, you know what? Let's try it with the
finisher.
With the finisher, yeah.
All right. Perfect. So, you roll to strike. You absolutely do hit. And so.
You didn't check that it was. Oh,
Yeah.
You did. You're good.
Yeah. So yeah, the creature kind of skitters in and kind of stands up to full figure, and you rush forward, looking to kind of help Dorina, but then you kind of stab out, using the rapier to pierce right into the creature. So it is going to take 10 points. Yeah, the rapier fits perfectly between the armored kind of carapace of the creature, and then you kind of just stab it in, and then you rip the blade back.
Wiggle it around a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I pull it out. I'm gonna do another attack, even with the
Yeah,
penalty.
because you used the finisher. You can't attack after you
Oh.
finished.
Oh, I thought I could still. Okay, that's fine.
Because it's a finisher.
Okay. Alright.
You could faint again.
This would really help. Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
set
let
up the
me do
next
that one.
turn. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. It's hard to like plan stuff when you can't see anything.
It's all good.
Mhm.
So, hey. Unfortunately, so you go to attempt to kind of catch the creature off guard with the second attack, but it seems like not mindful of your movements, right? Just kind of reacting violently. Nyx.
All right. Next, gonna run in really quickly. Get to about there. And he's gonna try to get him with his hook again.
Perfect. That is a critical hit.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll critical damage.
Flat-footed.
Oh my
Max
god,
damage.
max damage. Jesus. And that is please describe how, before this creature even has a chance to take the attack of even get to a chance to attack Dorina, who it really has its kind of eyes set on even after Mac has kind of attacked. The creature has its back turned to you, so if you could please describe as you destroy this creature in a single blow.
As it's turned, looming over Dorina, Nyx with his gill hook stabs it through the back of the neck and kind of pulls it onto its back, and just proceeds to finish it into the ground.
Perfect. All right. So, as you rip the creature down onto its back, and then just just absolutely obliterate the creature. That is the end of our encounter. And so, the skittering sounds have stopped as you all kind of take a moment, a quick breath, trying to formulate what is going on all around you. These two creatures having burst in and immediately gone on the attack, very aggressive. You take a breather. The door is completely smashed to bits, and all is left is the kind of strange silence as you all kind of look to catch your breath. A lot of you in pretty rough shape, or rather,
That's
a
just
couple of you.
fine.
Yeah, a couple of you in rough shape. Yeah. Hoot is
Um,
Hoot is not doing good at all. Um, so, yeah. What are you doing?
Mhm.
I want to, uh, like as soon as the creature dies, Mac is gonna like throw his hand over his eyes like really dramatically, and he's gonna go, "I'm injured. Oh no, I think it's fatal. Only true love's kiss can save me now." And he's gonna like look at Dorina, like peeking through his fingers at Dorina.
And Chester's gonna run over to Dorina and like fall at her feet and be like, "You have to listen to him, Dorina. Please save
um,
my brother."
I'm gonna pucker my lips too.
and Dorina would, just as the creature is being pulled back, she would like kind of recover from kind of being a little bit very worried and move over to Nyx.
Mm.
That's-
Yeah.
Wow.
And she would say, "Thank you kindly for taking care of that. Alas, I would, truly hate to see all of us down here slain, or blood mixed with poison from these things. So how about we all just, book it out of here for now?"
Yeah. 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 We should get out of here. That really hurt. Another one. Has a clear gash in his arm. Anyone have anything for that, or we should leave?
I have
Oh, I get down
some
here.
supplies on me. I could have a look at your wound and try and stitch it up if you want.
That'd be
It's like
good.
your
I
arm.
hope that thing didn't poison me too badly.
Sure hope so too.
All right. I should say,
There's
So-
also a chance of rolling a natural one on the treat wounds. Just
not only not only that, but it takes 10 minutes. Do you want to stay down here for 10 minutes, or do you want to?
I
Yeah.
want I have battle medicine, so I can do it as a action.
Oh, you can do it as an action. Okay, perfect. So you rush over.
At least if Misty's okay with it, because there is a
Yeah.
chance of failure, and I don't know how low you are.
Yeah.
It'd probably be fine.
Perfect.
Okay, it will scoot on over, and he'll have the medicine kit on his side, still ready from the last time you had to use it, and take a look at the wound. Take out a little vial of alcohol, pour it on it, and start taking out his little needle with some wire.
Perfect. All right, go ahead and make that treat wounds check as you look to quickly see to mix his wounds. Just a failure, so no critical damage. But trying to do it this quickly, Hoot, trying to get this done like maybe in a bit of a stressful situation, right? You're trying to do it really fast rather than kind of taking some time to sit, at least a few minutes, right? You're just trying to do this all in kind of seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so as you kind of like you pour the alcohol over, you're able to kind of like slightly patch it up, but it doesn't seem, it seems like you need to spend some time with it.
At least it's clean now, so I probably won't get infected within the next day, so that should be okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
And while he
Tell 'em
was
what they
treating
ate.
while he was treating the wounds, Chester and Mac will of course be roped in to help. Will carefully place the centipede's head immediately behind Hoot, so when he turns around,
Okay.
the centipede right next to his face.
Okay. Perfect. You lift the centipede's head
I
up.
don't think I need to be roped into helping. I think I just. Oh yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're very stealthily dragging this centipede behind.
Perfect.
Rita can see what we're doing, but
Fair enough.
what's she gonna do?
Fair enough. So
She denied us a kiss, so.
We're clearly just getting it out of the doorway. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
We're passing it up.
Well, we're just
Who's
moving out of the way.
familiar with the twins? Could Could I roll perception for it to see?
Yeah, sure, yeah,
I
yeah.
roll a stealth then.
Yeah, okay, sure. Oh no.
Oh my god.
Hey, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
You're completely focused in on Nyx and trying to kind of like quickly see to this wound, that your full focus is there, and just as you kind of as you finish up, you're like, man, I need some more time with this, and we can't do it here, right? You turn, and immediately there's this, the mandibles open, right? This massive centipede-like head kind of staring you down, almost like it snuck up behind you.
Jesus fucking Christ! He'll draw his dagger and try and stab it into the head, and then I imagine, because it's like the bugs like are cut open, I'm imagining it like a lobster. He just the dagger sort of gets lost in it.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so you you quickly kind of pull the blade out and kind of stab it into the creature's skull, but like with that you kind of go reeling backwards, right? Letting go of the dagger and kind of falling against the stone wall of the dungeon. Before you realize, I'll say the dagger doesn't get lost. I'll say it's like sticking out of the creature's head, but yeah, you realize that just another prank set upon you by the twins.
You too.
Aw, you love us.
Well, not when I'm this close to death, but how about we follow Tarina's ID and get out of here?
Oh, but we moved this one out of the way, and the other one's blocking the...
Perfect. So, you look to now escape from the dungeon. Alright.
I very much support that.
Fair enough.
I'm
Unless you
Mac
guys
is
wanna
actually
look
gonna
around a little
turn.
bit.
Go ahead, Mac.
Okay. Mac is gonna turn to Chester and be like, "Do you think what we're looking for is here, or do you want to go?"
No, but you should find out what was in that chest that you opened.
Oh yeah, good idea. I'm gonna go down to the chest
fair enough.
and see
Yeah.
what's in there.
Quickly go down and kind of, it was definitely set with intention. Damn, great call, because I would have, if you had left, I would have just been like, hey, you should have taken a look. So, good call there, Chester. So Mac, as you go back down and take a look inside this lock box, or I guess like foot locker is what you could call it. There are a few, not necessarily articles of clothing, but kind of articles of fabric laid atop each other. And you just kind of like peel that back and kind of toss it to the side. It's unimportant. Underneath there is a small, kind of like a smaller box, about probably about 10 inches, and it's a pretty deep set box. So it has two little locks on it that you can quickly unclasp with your thumbs, but you'd have to open it again.
Dang it, Trill.
Stand behind it this time.
Okay.
You just want me to break it?
Beef's idea is really good though. Standing behind it.
Okay. Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
Let's do that.
All right, so you unclasp these two things and you kind of slowly open the box.
Yeah, a lot more cautiously than.
Yeah. You're leaning back just in case there's some way it could, somehow still target you despite the wrong direction. But as you open it up all the way,
angling it towards the ground slightly.
yeah, fair enough. You click it open. You kind of like flinch a little bit to wait, and then nothing happens. So you quickly kind of turn the box and take a look inside of it. Inside are 3 vials of different shades of color. Each vial is probably about the size of like almost like the size of a thumb. They're like really small vials, you know what I mean? They only hold like a small measure of liquid. Each of them has liquid within them. The one to the far left has a almost like a glowing effect to it, like an acidic green kind of toxic sludge type of color, right? The one in the middle has a crimson color to it as you kind of lift it up and look through it. And the other is just pitch black.
Will the whole box fit into my bag?
Yeah, absolutely. It's not that big.
Okay, I wanna put it in my bag for now. Can I take a look at them? Is there like a check I could do to like
You get
squint at them really hard?
Yeah, so I think there would be a couple of checks here. Crafting would be one. What does underworld mean as far as the
It's
background?
like criminal stuff.
I'll say the underworld one could also work. Yeah. So, crafting or underworld. Okay, 19. So yeah, so in your background, right, your history, as well, as a charlatan of sorts, Mac, you have come across a number of strange kind of vials used by all sorts of unsavory types. As you look at them, based on the size of the vial and the amount of fluid within them, you feel as though at least, for sure, one of them, the green one, is certainly some type of poison. Not exactly what type, but you are certain that it is a poison. The other two, it is very difficult to judge, although you probably aren't storing, items together that aren't similar, so they could be potentially, logically, they could potentially be other types of poison, or you're not entirely sure of their purpose. But one for certain, 100% is a poison, just not what type.
Thank you. I want to put that in my bag, please.
All right, perfect. So, kind of close it, and quickly kind of set it back into the bag. All right.
And are any of the fabrics in the chest interesting in any way at all?
And anyway, the fabrics, no, they seem like just cut, almost like they're purposely cut to size of the box, just kind of laid over the top, right?
Okay, are any of them really ugly?
Yes.
Okay, I want to take the ugliest one.
Perfect.
And I want to wrap it around Hoot's neck like a scarf.
Perfect. Okay.
Apology for scaring him.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
That's exactly it. Okay. Perfect. So, yeah, you take this, it's got holes in it. It's not very sturdy, right? It's been left here to time. It kind of stinks as you lift it up out of the box. And you approach Hoot and kind of wrap it around the neck. All is well. So, with that, you are looking to remove yourself from this dungeon?
Yeah, probably.
All right. So, I'll just go ahead and change scenes then.
On the way out, I would kind of, Doreen would kind of pull up her nose at Hoot. Like, that is unspeakably tasteful. I'd be careful where you get spotted wearing that. Pointing at the newly found scarf.
Okay. Perfect.
Well, there's no one around to see, at least for the moment, so I guess we'll see once we get topside.
Okay.
His armor is also still like
Pink, yes.
pink and hearted.
Yeah.
Oh god.
So, yeah, Hoot is a laugh riot of a visual imagery right here. So
With his broken arm.
yeah. I think it was like ribs, so he's like keeping it down.
Yeah.
But so you start to make your way out and leaving through the front door that thankfully the twins have lifted and pulled the large centipede away from. And so with that now kind of cleared and the path open for you all, you go back the way you came. And you reach that point where it's the steps up, and then at this point it's a turn to the right. And as you kind of go ahead.
Can I shoot you a message real quick to do like a secret sort of like peek
Sure.
or something?
Sure. Is it like player versus player, or is it? just in general?
It's just like if it was something that Mac would notice.
Okay.
I don't want to give away anybody's
Okay, fine.
like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
backstory.
Backstory secrets.
Understand.
Nothing PvP like that.
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, just shoot it on my way. So as you're riding, yeah, the five of you kind of reach the end of the corridor.
God damn it.
Yeah, roll me
Sorry.
that perception check. Yeah. Or do I need to roll the perception for you, Mac?
No, I could do it.
You can do
I
it?
can
Okay,
see it.
perfect. Nice. Alright.
Mm.
Go and roll up a perception check. Absolutely they are.
Okay.
So,
Great.
yeah, in little ways, right? Just little ways, yeah. So as the five of you reach the bottom of the stairs, again, there is that path open to the right. The triple kind of fallen in and still there. The large waves of maggots kind of still crawling out. Last chance before you make your exit.
Chester's gonna get a piggyback again, probably, because he does not like buggies.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
The centipede was fine.
But since Chester does not like the maggots, Mac will not take him down that hallway.
Okay, yeah, so you just start to make your way up. Alright. Dorina, Nyx, or Hoot? Is there any interest in this hall at all? Or is it just, let's get the fuck out of here?
Nyx isn't feeling too amazing from that last encounter, and he wants to get out.
Fair enough. So, start to
The other two.
make your way up and out. Dorina and Hoot.
I mean, Dorina is totally getting out of there.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
Hoot, you're the last one.
Following behind with, I guess I would be carrying the torch again, and then I think Dorina mentioned it that was the source of the maggots was clearly from the other hallway, so he'd want to get up as well.
Okay, so getting out of there. Alright. So yeah, all five of you just make your way out, you know, unbothered by what anything could be potentially in this dungeon. So you all make your way up and out, bursting through the top. Finally, you know, fresh air again. Not that you've been down there for, you know, enough time that the stink kind of lost itself on you. And so as you kind of burst out into fresh air, it's like it's like, oh man, you know, that sudden realization of of the lack of disgusting smell in every breath you take is very nice as you kind of, you know, get some fresh air in. And so as the five of you step out and into the light, yeah, you're still in that open kind of, it's almost like a clearing of sorts. There's like a bit of space between like the heavily, almost like the wall of forest on one side that was extremely dark that you came through, and then there's this little patch of kind of like open space between those two woods, and then further in it goes to like a more normal forest where there's, you know, plenty of light kind of piercing through, and the occasional clearing offering kind of direct light. So where you now stand is kind of in like this ring almost, right? This open area between the two. And so as you kind of step out, fresh air finally gotten. Looking around, what's going on? Are you saying anything to each other?
Well, I guess we better go to our next destination.
And Dorina would
Guess
just
we
take a
Guess we can move on.
completely over exaggerated deep breath in.
Dorina. I figure someone like you would have perfume on you.
It's more about the fresh air, you see. Well, started missing it down there.
What were you saying, Minnie?
Oh, man, I guess we can move on. Hoot, you wouldn't mind trying to patch me up again. Kind of stabbed me last time a little bit.
Might be like that's because we encountered that thing last time. I think we just looking around came from that way, and maybe we should make our way at least to the edge of the forest, so we're a bit more shielded and not so obviously in out in the open.
I think you have to wait an hour anyway, so.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think-
Medicine versus regular medicine is slightly different.
Oh, right, because it was battle medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so either way, you want to kind of reach the more open edge of the forest real quick, and then kind of hunker down there as you spend 10 minutes kind of patching up the wound. So, yeah. So in that 10 minutes, as you kind of duck over, Hoot, go ahead and make the treat wounds check for Nyx, and then Chester, Mac, and Dorina as just kind of waiting for 10 minutes. Is there anything you're doing to ensure your safety? Just kind of waiting and watching what's happening between Nyx and Hoot? What's going on?
I feel like we would each take one of Dorita's hands and be like, let's do a perimeter check.
That's an agreeable strategy. I shall follow along. Just make sure nobody gets lost in the woods.
Yeah, don't let go of my hand this time, Dorina. It was really scary last time.
Oh, it truly was.
Okay.
We'll stay within visibility of Hoot and Nyx, just kind of doing a survey in a circle, kind of.
All right, perfect. So yeah, Nyx, you heal up 14 points.
Oh, wow.
And Mac and Cheese and Dorina, if you could give me perception checks as you kind of do a quick survey around the area. Wow.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Okay, I think we should get super mega awesome vision because we all rolled the exact same number.
With Dorina in between us, we've somehow passed on our twin powers into.
Jesus Christ. What the hell?
This is perfect.
Very weird. All right. So, and yeah, the crazy thing is that you each have a different bonus as well. So it's you all roll different dice just to make the same number each time. So with 18 all around. Wow. The three of you.
What are the chances of this?
The three of you holding hands, right? As you do kind of like a quick perimeter check, keeping sight on everything that is going on. I will say that one thing you notice, you all merge perception, perfect 4D surround vision. Yeah. You become a Legolas, right? What did your elf eyes see? But so as you all look around, the three of you will notice, and it occurs to the three of you at the same time as you start to make your way a bit around the woods, right? You know, kind of like not too far. You keep them in line of sight. This forest is deadly quiet. There is no natural life. There are no sounds of small birds, small creatures, or anything. It is completely silent. Never in your life have the three of you ever been into a forest and never had it be this quiet. You can hear yourselves, you can hear clearly because it's so quiet. Despite them being, you know, a good bit away, you can hear clearly what is happening between Hoot and Nyx as Hoot sees to the wound. You hear the crunching of the wood under the kind of dead leaves underneath your feet, the red carpet of life kind of all spread throughout these woods. And I'm going to say, because of perfect 4D surround sound vision, right? The three of you notice in the distance up ahead, there seems to be like a strange mist carrying itself through the forest. This mist is not, or the strange kind of fog, I should say, moving through the forest around. But this fog is not the typical like gray or white that you would kind of describe fog to be. It has it in itself a red tinge.
Is it coming closer to us?
From the distance that you can see it, it's difficult. It seems like it's expanding out, right? Like it's just kind of spreading all around.
Now, that's quite the curious occasion. Could I do a history check on this, or like an occult check on this smoke or fog? I mean, I'm quite
Sure.
old. Maybe I've read something, seen something.
Absolutely.
There actually isn't history here, right?
Oh, it would have to
Recall
be
knowledge.
yeah, it'd be like a recall knowledge check for I think recall knowledge at a base. I think it just if we were to do like a history one, I think it would just be based off your intelligence. So basically just roll me a check with your intelligence modifier. Actually you could probably use vampire here.
Oh, okay. I shall do that. And so 15.
15 total. Ooh, just perfect. Okay. So you have seen this type of creature, whatever it may be, in your past, specifically because of your father, right? As you see like red tinge to the mist, you believe this to be based on the amount of it, you think this is some form of vampiric mist, whether it be a collection, a large number of them traveling together, or for whatever reason, a massive one. In either case, you know exactly what type of creature this is. Very deadly. You know, they're capable of moving quickly, and they are very vicious whenever they are able to surround the creature.
I would slowly slowly grasp both hands and do like a rather surprised, like, oh, hang on a second. Yes, I do recall what this is. Should kind of switch between looking at the two of you for a couple of seconds. Like, oh, you really have to run now. Go, hush, hush.
All right.
Take me in quietly, get the others. We are leaving.
We run over, and yeah, Chester's going to like. 1 second. Let's see. Okay, he's going to like jump onto Hoot's back and be like, "Let's go."
Yeah, so jumping atop your on Hoot's back. Sorry.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought I was thinking of Mac. I was like, "Jesus, you're gonna ride your brother like that?" Okay.
No,
all
he's
right.
gonna ride Hoot like a horse.
Okay. Yeah, so you return.
No problem.
Yeah, you return just as Hoot finishes up the quick, the quick work on Nick's patching up quite well for a quickly timed job, and so yeah, tell the others that you must leave now. So, how are you leaving? Who is taking lead? Who is directing the party further into the forest? Still Hoot?
Mac is still holding Dorina's hand, but he will also take Nyx's hand when they get close to him as well.
You grab Nyx's hand as well. Okay.
Hoot can lead
Yeah.
with Chester on top of him until he can't carry him, and then Chester will just run behind.
Perfect.
Also, the only two that can see without torches are Dorina and Hoot, so.
Yeah. And funnily enough, Hoot only has 3 points of HP, so I don't know.
I collapse when you jump on my back.
Yeah.
Just to the ground. Just as the final stitch goes in, but it's perfect.
Yeah.
Why didn't you heal yourself first?
The honor goes to the person who slays the creature. I can take care of myself a little bit later, I guess, but do we really have to leave now?
Yes, we do. Super now, actually.
It's very urgent.
I'll be sure to step in front of you this next time.
Okay, frantically packing up his things and just not looking at whatever. Probably a slash on his where his rib was broken, and torch. Yes, no. This way is the way we didn't come from, and we should be heading.
Fair enough.
So, given that I can move slightly faster than most humans, I would like to ask if I can do something like run off about 50 feet or 100 feet and quickly come back as they're leaving.
Okay. Yeah, so you rush up 50 feet and then you want to return?
Yeah, like basically away from the smoke, but in a different direction than we are actually going.
Okay. So, absolutely. So, are you attempting to kind of scout ahead?
No, I'm trying to make a distraction. But as soon as I'm out of eyesight of the party, I would like to pull out one bottle of blood and try to create a little trail before just tossing it off into the woods.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah.
But in a different direction than we are leaving, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to attract the vampire mist closer to you. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you rush ahead of the party, right? Like, putting some space between you and them, and you kind of quickly create this trail of blood and kind of just toss the vial off out into the surrounding area, kind of, guiding them guiding what would be the vampiric mist away. And so then you quickly kind of return back to the party. And so, having successfully created a distraction of sorts, Hoot, you are back to leading. Not in the best of shape, but in any case, if you could.
In that case, can I light a torch and can I lead?
Sure. Yeah. Put kind of Hoot in the middle part of the party, right, away from potential dangers from the front and back. And so Mac, you'll lead the way. Go ahead and give me a survival or a nature check here as you attempt to lead the party further into the wood.
Could I be meddlesome and still try and help by doing a bit of guiding towards the actual destination?
Sure.
Yeah, like who can point us in the direction, but I'll be standing in front of him.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. With Hoot's guidance, Mac, you are doing a rather fine job at leading the party forward. You don't know precise directions, exactly to get where you need to go, the sanctuary within the Red Vivarium. The current kind of plan was to just make it here, and then see what you could do about, potentially kind of not stumbling across it, but you've got some general directions, like head east, that sort of thing. And so you do so, right? You now feel like you are in the proper space of the forest, and so you start to head east. I'm gonna say say an hour passes, and you can decide if you want to take a quick minute break to attempt to again patch some wounds, or are you gonna push yourself forward, Hoot? Another hour of walking, it's basically at 3 HP is, you know, very rough for you. So
Yeah. I think looking to the rest of the group, would be maybe looking to Dorina because he spotted earlier that he got healed. Does any of you have anything magical to help with recovery, or can we take like a 5-minute breather? I just have to stitch myself up.
I wish I could offer something with the swords, but I'm fairly drained myself today.
Mac is gonna shrug and he's just gonna go, "You need to be up on HP so you can protect us."
Just
Jesus.
like, I never learned that kind of magic.
Okay, then just give me a minute. I'm just gonna take out the sewing kit again.
You sit on a
Using
rather
the-
large rock and look to. Yeah.
Using the hideous bit of fibre that Matt got me, trying to dab up the blood and everything.
I
Perfect.
could always help you, Hoot.
That worked out great last time. Just one more.
So, pointing at all the blood on you, she would say, you might want to lose that as well. It's, you know, some creatures can track that from quite far away, and I would try to like help him out, clean it up with prestidigitation. If I can just try to drain it out of all of his clothes.
Okay. Are you trying to place it somewhere specific?
No, just on the ground.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. Quickly. Prestidigitation. Absolutely. You clean up. Hoot. So Hoot, if you want to make that treat wound, sure.
I kind of don't, but I have to.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Let's see.
Okay, it's not critical failure.
That's not a critical failure. Yeah, your hands are a little bit too shaky, right? You're attempting to, yeah, you're attempting to do your best.
That hour-long walk really wore him out.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it really did, especially when you're on the precipice, right, of unconsciousness like this. You are
Also, we were probably like hustling because Dorina was like, "We need to get out of here right now."
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, maybe you were moving at at a faster pace than you typically travel, just to kind of put some space between you and that vampiric mist. Yeah, you attempt to kind of patch yourself up, but your hands are just too shaky. You just these adventurers are for the younger types, right? So,
Back in my day.
this is a painful experience so far. So you'd have to wait another hour before you get a chance to patch yourself up. We can say that's you spend 10 minutes attempting to kind of quickly see to your wounds, but the party's like, we gotta go, right? We cannot stand around too long, so we have to really push the pace. Hoot, if he could make me a fortitude saving throw.
Before he does that,
Sure.
Chester will be like, you look like you could use some help getting by, and Chester will cast guidance on Hoot.
Okay. All right. So, guidance will give you a +1 to your +1 circumstantial bonus to your saving throw. So, you
I added it automatically. No, it didn't. No, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
17. Okay. Yeah. The pace, without being able to heal yourself up it, right? is definitely taxing the body. And so you can continue travel for sure. But you feel like if you don't get some help soon, it's gonna be a lot harder to travel. So you push on for now, right? Kind of brushing off whatever physical pains and ailments still kind of persist. And so for the next,
we can't see the sun, right?
you can now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we get a vibe check on what time of day it is?
Yeah, absolutely. You got so at this point, you've been traveling a couple of hours to make to the edge, and then now a couple of hours into the forest. So we'll say we're nearing probably just past midday. Yeah. So probably around like as a comparison, probably like a 2 p.m. comparison, right?
Thank you.
So you still have a couple of hours of daylight, so you can still at least get some distance as you make your way further into the Red Vivarium. But for now, yeah, you still have some time and light available to you. So you continue on. We're gonna use the same rolls as previously. So Mac, you're still rolling with that 21. Hoot is doing a lot of the heavy lifting as far as ensuring that you're making your way. What feels a more natural way, because at this point you're trying to find a place that you don't have direct directions to, so you're kind of going off the lay of the land, right? Like what most likely are you going to like what area looks like people have kind of passed through before, right? What area looks like it's maybe not heavily traveled, but at the very least like lightly traveled, some kind of natural pass given into the Red Vivarium. And you continue to head the general direction, which should be east, I believe. So delving further into the Red Vivarium, all 5 of you, if you could, give me a perception check as a couple of hours pass and all seems quiet as you press forward.
Nix and Mac are like, we don't see shit.
Yeah. All right. And Chester, very good perception.
Yes.
All right. So, okay. Hoot, you're the. Okay, so, yeah, Mac, Nix, the two of you are. Maybe you're more focused on just like being prepared in case anything gets to drop on you, right? Something comes across and might, pose some danger to the party. You're very on edge in that regard. Everybody else just kind of traveling as normal. Hoot with a 22. You spot a point up ahead that to you at a first glance looks like a very well traveled part of the path. The forest floor is kind of cut away, down to kind of direct earth. You know how like natural paths kind of moves away the grass and all that to it's just like a rough dirt path. And you see it kind of climbing up the side of this it's not a large hill, but it's like a kind of a hump of land, right? You kind of see it up and going over. You spot it basically out of the corner of your eye. You're actually going to be walking right past it, but with a quick kind of glance around, you actually see it, and you see it to the left of you. So you're traveling east. This would be a bit
To the south.
yeah, or rather if you're traveling no, this would be north, right? If you're traveling east. Yeah. It would be north. Yeah, so the north of your position, you see this this kind of large, somewhat hill.
As I'm trying to keep up my breath and keep up the pace we're going, I'll just try and point Mark in that direction and let it be known to the rest of the party. Like, I think I see a path over there. It's definitely got some footprints or something. It seems traveled.
All right.
Civilization sounds just about right. Let's find it.
Okay, perfect. So the party turns and starts to head in the way of that path, looking to follow along it, and this potentially might be one of the, you know, the heavily traveled paths around the sanctuary within the Red 5 area. So you make your way to it as the five of you kind of crest up the side of the hill and reach the top and kind of now look over and out. It actually kind of pours out into like a almost like a small valley open to you, right? The hill kind of continues to climb on either side, but there is a clearing. There is a stretch of a small kind of creek passing through, and just next to the water there is an old wooden like cottage. Currently there is a bit of smoke puffing and rising out of the chimney.
We should see if it's made of gingerbread.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, let's go.
So as you kind of stand there, you don't hear anything. There's not any obvious sounds, just the trickling of the creek, and this seemingly random kind of wooden cottage.
Can we take a peek in the windows?
You want to sneak on down and look inside? Sure.
Just let us do the talking. Well, we're too cute to for them to be upset at us.
Are you trying to sneak, or are you just walking
sneak.
right up?
We're gonna sneak. We're gonna sneak to start.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and give me some stealth checks. Yeah.
Both of the twins.
Yeah, whoever's approaching. Yeah.
Yeah, the twins are going together. This is gonna go poorly.
Perfect.
Yeah, don't let us do anything.
Wow. Yeah, so mac and cheese. The two of you kind of hunch down a little bit and you start to make your way down the small hill into this kind of like open little, almost like a mini valley of sorts. And yeah, you go ahead and get up close and you're looking to peek in through the windows to see what you see. Absolutely. So, you're kind of approaching what appears to be like the side of the building. You can see like a kind of like a wraparound porch up front where, potentially the front door of this cottage is kind of located. But there are two large, rather, two large windows on either side. And one thing that's kind of strange to note, they are glass paned. Which is quite rare. This cottage of sorts has to be like a with that in mind, is either somebody extremely wealthy or it has to be kind of like a labor of love to build a location, to build a cottage like this out here, especially. And so as you kind of approach, each of you taking a window yourself, kind of peeking in at the front and the back end, or all together?
I was thinking more like this, but yes.
Wait, more like oh, okay, yeah. So the two of you checking you can check through the same window.
Make sure.
Perfect. So yeah, the two of you walk up to the we'll say the back, the back, and kind of peek in through. As you look inside, it is very clearly a room. There's a bed kind of set in heavy blankets kind of set atop it, all tucked. It looks quite well made up. You can see like a dresser. You can see all of this looks handcrafted. It doesn't have like a very sophisticated look to it all. You know, kind of looks like put together, like someone living out here on their own, just kind of doing the best they can. So you kind of peek in. You don't see any activity. You see a door. The door is closed currently. And I'll say, even as you kind of stand there, kind of listening in, you don't hear any activity from beyond the window.
But there's smoke coming from the chimney.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But the chimney would be from the probably the front room, so you're at the back. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So.
Mac's just gonna like look at Chester for a second with like a look on his face that says, "This is boring."
Yeah.
All right.
Should we knock? Hoot says we should knock at the tomb. Or is that Dorina? Anyway, we should knock.
I think it's Dorina.
Okay. So you sneak around the front?
Yep.
Okay.
We'll probably peek in the window there as well before knocking, but.
Oh, okay, so you'll check the window first and then knock?
Yeah, we'll check the window first.
Okay. Yeah, you quickly pass by, and again, the two of you kind of push your heads together to to look inside the home. Yeah, you see a rocking chair on the interior. You see a large kind of almost like a bench seating as well. And you see a figure sitting with their back turned to you, facing the fire, the fireplace, right? And you can see beyond them a small, dimly lit fire kind of glowing, and the figure's just kind of sitting there in the rocking chair, just kind of, you know, slowly moving back and forth. Not very broad-shouldered or anything, and it's tough to get a feel for what the person might be, as they kind of just sit there, just kind of rocking back and forth.
I feel like well, I'm gonna make sure that out of character everybody's okay with this. I think we would just like rap on the window with our faces like that, but only if everybody else is okay with getting this person's attention.
Everybody okay with it?
What are you doing on the window?
Knocking.
On the window?
Yeah, to get their attention.
I mean, you do you. I'm standing back a little bit.
Yeah,
able to run up
you guys
on
are
everything
far
if
enough
something
away.
happens, but
No one will see you, so.
Yeah, you guys
It's
are.
more like a meta thing. Like, are you guys okay with?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Like meta-wise, are you cool with us getting this person's attention, or do you want to move on?
All good.
Okay.
I'm all in.
Okay.
All right.
yeah.
So you
Yeah, we knock on the window, so
Yeah.
if they turn around, they just see our faces. Like.
couple sharp knocks on the window, the glass. The figure stops suddenly, rocking in the rocking chair, and you're gonna see them like slowly lean forward, like they're moving extremely slow and deliberately, like they're trying not to make any noise themselves. And they're gonna lean forward and kind of just slowly stand up out of the rocking chair. They are, from this figure now, they're very tall, very lean, right? Like a long-armed kind of noodle person, right?
Slender Man?
Not that intense, but they're very tall
Gingerbread house in the
and
room.
very lean. Yeah. And so they stop moving. They just kind of stand. And they slowly start to turn, and you can see that the face is kind of obscured by the elbow, but they look over their shoulder in the direction of you two. Is the picture exactly what they see?
Yes. Yes. The
So-
drawing is exactly what they see.
All right. They're gonna kind of look for a moment. You don't get too much out of their facial features before they quickly turn to the left and head straight to the front door, grabbing a hold of it and kind of swinging it open as they make their way out onto the porch. From where the two of you are standing, you can hear the door swing open. You can hear the heavy steps as they start to walk across the porch. What are you guys doing?
and step back. Chester would have his knife, but like he would have both of his hands behind his back, like they're just like la la la, we're just hanging out. But he does have his knife drawn just in case.
Okay. You have your knife drawn
But,
just in
yeah.
case.
We're
What
just
about-
looking cute. He'll just tuck it into his back
Waist.
pocket if things go bad. Yeah.
Okay. And Mac.
You know what? I'm gonna be dumb and not draw my weapon. But
Okay.
I will stand between Chester and where the guy would be coming from.
Fair enough. Yeah. So you kind of
Looking very friendly.
Yeah, so the two of you kind of take a few steps back away from the home, but out into the like a bit more open from the side of the house that is being approached, where the because there's like a railing, right, built around the porch of the house, so the figure will kind of stand at that point, kind of stand there, kind of looking out at you, and they've got their hands on their hips, and very obviously, Chester, for you, especially, this figure is unfortunately familiar to you. Standing here now is the same figure from within the village that you passed through, the one that was found by
Perfect.
Dorina.
This is great. This is the ideal circumstance.
Yeah, so he kind of steps out into light, his hands on his hips. And he's got a large smile on his face. Curious to see you here.
Yeah, we found where our the beast that killed our twin brother number 3.
Wow.
Now we're back on the road.
On the road? No, you're in the Red Vivarium. Do you know where you
Close
are?
enough.
Is it just the two of you? Have you been separated from your party? Do you need help finding them?
Oh, they'll be along eventually. We ran into some trouble.
Trouble. Kind of squints and looks at the two of you. Come on inside. I just put a fire on. I've got some food going. It would be nice to have company.
Yeah, Chester would be like, great, and is like gonna tuck his knife away, and sort of.
Well, the corset knife can be concealed.
Yes,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's just
Fair enough.
we just conceal it. So.
Okay, all right. So the two of you start to round the house, heading to the porch.
And the last twin in, which I think is Mac. I don't know if you wanted to like give the others like a wave or something as we get in. Where
Yeah, I was gonna say, the other three, you all watch as Mac and Cheese approach, crossing around.
Is the man going into the house first?
Well, he's kind of standing on the porch as you come around, and he's gonna essentially meet you at the front door as you just as you kind of reach that point of the porch. I'm gonna say from that angle though, the others can't see very well.
Okay. Point is he standing behind Mac at any point?
No, probably not.
Okay. Then Mac is gonna like stealthily just give like a thumbs up behind his back to
Okay.
the other groups.
Perfect. All right. So yeah, he'll step inside and kind of like hold the door open for the two of you. Yeah, please come on in. There's been some time since I've had company. I'm do not worry, I do not hold our last encounter against you, so it is all fine for you to come on in.
we did go into great danger, so
Sure.
it's best you didn't come with us.
Yeah, we fought lots of stuff. It was really dangerous in this forest.
In fact,
We probably don't want to be here.
Well, I live
reason
here.
Our friends are so far behind is because they are very injured, actually.
Very injured. Wow.
Mm.
It's a shame to hear. What about the friend that was well, the one out of your group that was a bit more empathetic with my situation? Is she okay?
Serena's not available for dating.
He kind of looks
No, she's
confused.
taken.
Both of us.
He kind of looks confused at you, like, okay.
So Chester's kind of what he's doing is he's playing off their earlier interaction as like he was being jealous rather than
Oh, okay.
just being weird.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
you have nothing to worry about. I do not look to take her from your arms. He's trying to find the words as well. It's a bit awkward for
Yeah.
him. But
Yeah, I'm basically smoothing things over, but telling part of the truth and also, you know.
yeah, fair enough. So the two of you enter, and the door was shut. So Nyx, Hoot, and Dorina. You see the twins kind of disappear into the home after Mac gives you a kind of a quick thumbs up, ensuring that everything is okay.
I mean, Chester can also just cast message.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, that thumbs up was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they don't come soon, Chester will be like, that was the signal. Mac gave it to you.
So Dorina would take a quick look at both of you, and she would be like, "Oh, do you believe that was the signal for us to join them, or to stay back while they investigate?"
Yeah.
No.
That's
Do
really
you
good.
think they know what they're doing, Hoot?
Usually, no, they don't. But I do think we should go and be supportive, I guess. If the last encounter, well, if it's just one person, that should be okay. Although they are living in a forest full of dangerous monsters, and I would say something about their skill.
Certainly. We also should perhaps worry, what if it just is a normal person living there, quite offended by their schemes and trickery now?
There's only one way to find out, and he'll just hold his hand out a bit towards Nyx and just try and steady him. So let's get towards it. It might be shelter for at least now.
Yeah, we can see what they got going on in there. They're going inside. Why would they go inside, though? I don't know. I don't understand anything they do.
Might have been attacking already, so it must be okay. We could get closer and maybe take a peek ourselves.
Let's just walk up and knock, I suppose. And I would
I
slowly but
guess.
surely do just that.
Or if you two want to watch, I can wait by the door. Maybe I can get in there and help.
Okay. So,
Do you have a signal, Hoot?
I think we should just all head in by now. It's probably perceptive enough if they're living here that they would know if we were hiding. Straightforwardness might just be the best course of action.
I totally agree with that.
All right, you guys. If you insist. Guess we'll just walk up to the house.
okay. So, a few moments pass. So as you decide what to do and how to make your way, following the twins, inside the house, the figure kind of greeting you. So, your business in the Red Vivarium is complete then.
Ours maybe, but I don't know about our companions. I must love the color red to live out here.
Something like that. Have a seat, please. And he kind of motions towards the long kind of bench style seating up near the fire.
Chester would sit.
Yeah, Mac will sit right next to Chester.
Perfect. Yeah. Figure will kind of step forward and kind of sit down in the rocking chair, kind of reclaiming their spot. Just kind of looks over at you, the two of you. As they look at you, there's this like very slight smile. So, I didn't catch your names last time we met. Before you left me in the dust in that unfortunate dead town. What is your names?
Well, I'm Cheese.
And I'm Mac.
Cheese. Really?
It's a nickname.
A nickname.
Yeah, our mom really liked cheese.
Ah, I see. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. A good cheese is very difficult to turn down, yeah?
Yeah, and you know, she was from Phineas, and she was part of one of the cheese guilds, so.
Phineas, really? Part of the cheese guilds there as well. Are you, so you are all from, the two of you are from Phineas?
We are.
You have found yourself a long way from home.
Yes, well, you know how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we're young. We want to see the world.
Yeah. Of course. I'm also far from home, so I completely understand your position. Yeah. I know what it is.
Where are you from?
Myself? I am from Brevik. It is to the north of Thenaeus, across the mountains.
That's even longer.
Yeah.
So this
Further.
is like your vacation house?
No. He kind of brushes it off, kind of looking around. No, I'm simply here for just a bit to kind of wait out some things. I mean, I'm sure you know
What are
is.
you waiting out?
Civil War, you mean?
Yeah, that's it.
Wait,
I
what
wanna
did you say? Sorry.
The Civil War on in the Dizolio Enclave, the Civil War. But he's gonna say yeah, but it doesn't come across very honest. Yeah, not sincere. It's like you gave him the answer, like, oh yeah, exactly. That's what we're waiting on. Yeah. So, yeah, far from home, but I haven't been home in a while, so it's not. Yeah. I actually myself was in Thenaeus not too long ago.
Did you see her mom?
Who's your mother?
Oh, you wouldn't know her. She's dead.
Why would you ask if I had seen her then?
Never know.
Yeah, at that he's like, okay. And so I'll say at that point, the three from outside, you approach and you knock on the door.
Yes.
Fair enough. So it must be your friends. He kind of gets up with a quick start and heads to the door, kind of swinging it open. What a surprise as he kind of opens the door and sees the three of you. Come on in. Kind of invites the three of you in.
Oh, that's quite surprising.
Yeah.
Pleasant surprise, certainly. How lovely. And she would follow inside.
Yeah, make yourself comfortable. There are a number of places to sit. You know, feel free to sit where you please. Kind of inviting you all in. Welcome to my small home. Nothing too impressive, but out here it keeps me safe through the evening. So.
Seems to be rather well crafted. Did you make that yourself?
Yeah, I did. Roll me a perception check.
Finally getting to use that wood affinity.
Check for termites.
A 13. As you kind of ask, he kind of it's a little weird because he kind of thinks about your question a bit, like almost like a a second too long to respond. And when he says, "Yeah, of course, right?" It doesn't sound sincere. The twins here were just telling me that you had finally avenged their third brother and completed some battles with some strange creatures out here. How are you all doing? He kind of like scans. Oof, you don't look so good. Looking at you, Hoot. Do you need some help?
Just pale-faced. He'd be looking at him, but I guess also with all like the double vision is starting to set in a bit with the blood loss, and I think I might. I have some things on me, but I just think I need to sit down for a moment.
Yeah, take a seat. Your friend doesn't look so good here. He kind of looks at the rest of the four of you.
That's what we were saying.
Yeah.
You as well, he says, looking at you. Cheese.
Oh, it's just a scratch.
I don't know. Looks a bit worrisome. But he kind of turns his attention away from you, Cheese, and focuses in on Hoot. Take this, and he will produce a red vial from his pocket. This should help you along. It's a healing potion, so if you'd like to kind of pop it back and drink, it'll be 1d6 plus 4.
I had suspiciously at first, and then take the cork off, and take a little sniff, and he's had enough healing potions, and it's like you should know the smell of it.
Yeah, easily identify.
And shock it down.
All right. Yeah, nothing seems off. Seems as it normally is.
What's it again? D6, you said?
Yeah, d6 plus 4. So, not the most potent of healing potions, but it'll do a bit of a job. So, you heal up by an additional 7 points. As soon as you kind of drink it back, you can kind of feel it kind of seeping in, right, into the bones and muscles. Like, immediately, like a sense of relief from the pain and ailments of previous encounters.
Thank you. That really hit the spot. And how rude of me. I didn't catch your name last time.
He kind of stops himself from answering, kind of looks at you. Of course, and he reaches his hand out to shake your hand. Will you grab his hand as he kind of leans in?
I'll hold up my hand as well, and offer a good handshake.
Yeah, so he shakes your hand, rather kind of tight grip as he holds on to it. I am known by some as Brynmore. And yourself?
I am known as the Hoot to most.
Hoot?
Yes.
Where are you from?
I've been all over the place really, but I've spent most of my time in all around Phineas.
Phineas, really? He kind of he still has a hold of your hand as he's, he kind of puts his hand over, like he's still holding it with one and kind of holds it with the second one, right? Like kind of places his hand over the handshake.
Like this is just like a really awkwardly long handshake.
Yes, it's very awkward. Yeah, for sure, it's very awkward. As he kind of stands there, looking at food. you're not by chance connected to well, the ruling people there? You know, the ruling family that runs the city. You know,
No, not really. The circles I used to set myself in were a bit more on the other side, just a bit more to the grey area. Let's call it that.
Yes, I know that very well. That's my. I mean, if you're being honest here, that is my history as well. Until betrayal, as you know.
With that, does the name actually ring a bell from his history in the underground?
Definitely not. Yeah, fortunately not. He lets go finally of the handshake. Kind of looks back over to Mac and Cheese. The two of you are from Daenerys. I should have asked. Are either of you connected with the the powers of the city?
We prefer to fly duo. All alone on our own. No one to take us in. Poor orphans. And Chester like dramatically like lays on the floor.
Okay. Well. That's it then. So, can I maybe provide you all a safe space to maybe rest for the evening? I'm sure you have further business and things to attend to, but the forest is very dangerous at night. Very dangerous at night. I'll keep that in mind. So, if you'd like, you can take one of the bedrooms here. Wouldn't mind having you all stay. It's no bother to me. I very rarely get guests out here anyways, and it'd be a shame for you all to travel further and then lose your life.
We'd be happy to.
Question. Is it just like weird in general to have any sort of home out here? I assume so, right?
Very weird. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mac
Not
is
connected to
gonna
like a sanctuary or something? Yeah.
Yeah. Mac is gonna ask, so what made you want a home out here?
Well, even though I complain about it, you know, the lack of guests, that is exactly why. Not many people would venture to travel out here. There are those staying in the small collective or whatever, not to, kind of brushes off in a random direction. But for the most part, solitude.
I suppose that is quite respectable, but we do greatly appreciate your hospitality.
Yes, like I said, I rarely get visitors out this way, and for now, I'm just kind of currently waiting for things to quiet down, so to speak, and then I can return back to my business as I am needed. So yeah. Well, then I think it would be great for you all to stay. Why are you? I mean, beyond the business that of the third brother, why are the rest of you out here? Were you just helping your two friends here?
That helping the locals, you know.
The locals. So you are agents in this war?
No.
Well, you've picked a side. May not be
Sometimes.
official.
Hardly anyone.
Even those waging the war?
Well, not usually, but anyone looking to get out of it.
I see.
Usually the more common folk get caught in between the lines and the sides, and well, we're just trying to offer a helping hand. As you might have seen at the village, that just well, we found ourselves here, and we're just, in that sense, I guess, good Samaritans trying to help the people.
Okay. Yeah, that is
At least along the way.
yeah. I understand.
What business do you do while you're not waiting?
Oh. Kind of thinks of a way to phrase it. I kind of laughs to himself. I go where I must, and I do the will of kings and queens.
So, what piqued your interest in the Thanean royalty?
I have a friend. She is recently ascended her position. She is amongst those that rule the city now. She is made great friends with the despot leader of Thaneus now. I attempted to, reconnect, and unfortunately I was unable to. So, for now, I am...
Left you in the dust when you became famous.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Right. You help somebody, right? You do so much for them, and then they just throw it all back at you. Well.
So she would kind of chuckle and lean in a little bit closer, like it's like she's listening to the latest gossip.
Sure.
So, well, who is it? It's not exactly usual that somebody gets in there just through friendship.
Well, are you from Thaneus as well?
Well, I perhaps sometimes bring some wine to certain people in the upper echelons.
Really? Huh. Who are you again? What is your name?
Dorina Serlin.
Serlin. Interesting. Well. I think, I'm not sure, unless you've been there recently, I'm not sure you would know this, this figure. So, kind of thinks about it. Sorry. I'm not sure it would be wise to.
But of course, I didn't mean to pressure you into anything, of course. Just curiosity.
Yeah, it's just...
You know how the courts go.
Plus, and the more you know, if you were ever to return home, I mean, if you were to know any more information, I mean, it could be a danger to you. So, would rather that not be the case. somebody important, somebody who keeps eyes on the city, kind of giving you a bit of a hint.
I'm very curious.
In any case, help yourself to whatever food you would like. The room that you would be staying in is down to the left. I do not think it would fit all 5 of you, though. I think
We can cuddle.
Okay. Yeah. Probably 2 to the bed.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, Dorina's gonna be in the bed with me and Cheese. You know.
And who?
Um,
All right,
Sorry,
I got a
Nix. You
bedroll.
could be on the foot of the bed like the dog.
I got a bedroll. Oh, it's fine. I am gonna start wandering around the room, kind of just looking at stuff, all the well-made things that he has.
Yeah, you look around. It's definitely like reminiscent of somebody who is well experienced, you know, in kind of living more on their own, right? A lot of this stuff is like personally crafted. Doesn't look like it's stuff that has been kind of purchased and then brought here, right? Everything kind of has the similar features, right? The same kind of wood used for like candles and all types of things. So everything has a very kind of rustic feel to it. You know, the furniture itself all kind of shares the same kind of redwood quality. Nothing distinctive, right? As you look around, nothing that kind of tells you beyond the items that exist. Nothing really tells you much about the person living here. Although I will say, I noticed that you notice as you kind of look around the room, there's a dining table, right? Currently not set, but there is a small vase kind of sitting on top of it, and the whatever foliage that was inside has surely been kind of long dead now, kind of left. It needs a refresher. So
I am not good with
they-
flowers, so not gonna go there.
Are the flowers like mega dead, or are they just like, they're kind of old? They should probably be replaced soon.
mega dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we've all figured out this is not his house.
Yeah, I'm just making sure.
Yeah, so, yeah. For now, you know, help yourself to anything you may need. There is some food going on the fire. It's a simple stew of sorts. You know, help yourself, and I'll retire to my room for a bit. I have to. I'm a bit weary from the day, so enjoy your stay. If you are needing me for anything, don't hesitate. And yeah, maybe we'll speak a bit later after the sun has fully set. So he kind of stands up, and as he kind of stands up, he's like labored, right? Very tired, right? It's obvious in the movements of his kind of physique as he kind of stands tall. You can even hear like the popping of like bones in his knees and his back as he kind of stretches backwards. Yeah. So
He's older than you, Hoot.
you say that out loud?
Just a whisper to Hoot. Piss him off.
Fair enough. So kind of gives you all a nod, and then kind of quickly, well, not quickly, but kind of walks his way down to the edge of the hall, and kind of turns into the bedroom that you had previously looked into. So the other bedroom is going to be opposite the hall, and now it is just the 5 of you, kind of sitting alone in this stranger's home, who has essentially just left you to do as you please.
Well, it's
I'm
not
gonna
his
do as I
house, so
please.
we could take whatever we want, right?
No,
Jester says this aloud.
it will be considered quite rude. And for now, we should just assume that it is, in fact, his house.
Whatever you say, Dorina.
Dorina, you should get him some new flowers.
Why would I do that?
I thought you liked being nice.
I love being nice, but not particularly interested in flowers. I might draw the man or give him some wine for later.
Should we pester him on what he's actually doing?
She would kind of turn serious for a second, breathe out, and shake her head.
Okie dokie.
I'm sure we will find out soon enough if there's anything dubious.
Molly said we could eat
Not
if
like-
we wanted to.
Yeah.
I mean, you go ahead. Must be quite hungry.
If you want to touch it, you are more than welcome to. But for me, I don't know.
You should
Currently digging through the pantries of the room.
keep
Yeah.
our strength up at least. There's something stewing here, so if it's already on there, we might sort of take a bite.
Just will stare really close to Hoot's face as he eats to make sure nothing happens to him. Not out of
Mac.
concern, out of making sure it's not poisonous.
Fair enough. So,
Mac
yeah.
will put his finger in the stew though, because Nick said that he could touch it, so he's gonna touch it. But like in Hoot's bowl specifically.
Oh, so not into the boiling pot.
No, specifically in the bowl that Hoot pours for himself.
Okay, fair enough.
Is Hoot gonna die?
So, Hoot, yeah, you take it's already in there, so you just grab a bowl, kind of like a wooden bowl, and just kind of quickly scoop out a little bit. There are chunks of meat inside. It's kind of like a very kind of dull gray color. It doesn't have much as far as appetizing looks go. There's not like, an amount of veggies or anything inside of this. It's just kind of like a simply thrown together bowl, but it smells good, despite not looking the most appetizing. And then you take a quick bite. Tastes good, as good as you can get. It's not the best meal you've ever had, but it is something warm in in a situation like this, where out here in the wild you're not really expecting an amazing meal. So
Well, Dorina, it seems safe. Come here and we can feed it to you.
I appreciate that so dearly, but for now I am still quite stuffed and not hungry at all. Just treat yourself with that.
Okay. Chester will also eat.
okay, you take a bite.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
yeah.
All right. So does everybody participate, or just a couple of you?
I'm gonna wipe my finger off on Hoot's shirt, and I'll take a bite of Chester's.
No, you sure?
All right.
Trust it.
Share everything.
A welcome meal, especially when compared to the bite he had earlier from the maggot.
I can't believe you ate that.
Sometimes you have to do what you must to get by. So, yeah. Who knows where this meat came from? Like, it could be the weird armed thing we came across earlier.
That's fine. At least it's not maggots. Don't you worry about them like crawling through your teeth and laying eggs in your skull.
Oh, the ones in the sometimes you just think insects are fine. They contain a lot of nutrients, so yeah. Just gotta make sure to chew them very good.
Mister makes it like a gross face. So, Maybe after we eat, we squeeze into the spare bedroom, I suppose.
Okay. So, yeah, you all, those of you who participate, you all kind of do so. And then you, yeah, the five of you kind of.
Rifle through like the wardrobes or whatever that's in there.
Yeah, there's a few, a few dressers. You kind of go through them. The clothing is very, very simple, like, woodsman type clothing. I'm gonna say that you find small clothing though, like for
gnomes.
No, not that small. Come on, just like a small human, very thin, small human. Probably
like child's, right?
What, like children's clothing or like small adult clothing?
I would say it's probably difficult to tell the difference, right? It's definitely not like baby clothing, right? It's could be anything from like a small teen girl to like a smaller older woman. But it is a little feminine in nature.
Yeah, this definitely isn't his house.
I mean, it could be the
But now it's our house. For tonight.
old. The woodsman pattern was definitely the rage back in my day, so perhaps it's from that time.
Fair enough. So, you all settle in, squeezing whatever people may be looking to take the bed, while others just pull out their bed rolls and kind of take a spot along the floor. In any case, it might be the case that the only people sleeping on the bed are the twins, while the others are in bedrolls along the outside of the bed. But
it's okay. I wouldn't want to sleep in the same bed as them either.
yeah, you all eat, and the meal certainly is filling to the point that it kind of makes you all tired a bit, right? You all go to the bed. Quickly after eating, kind of leaving things as they are. As you pass the door in the hall, it's kind of still closed. You don't hear anything from the opposite side. Bryn Mawr is kind of retired to their own thing. And so, as the five of you kind of retire to the room, and even before the sun is fully fallen, you're all really kind of, getting tired, and,
Except for Dorina. Dorina didn't eat. He can't. But
Nix didn't either.
Yeah. Even still, you're all getting tired kind of rather quickly. And it seems like a really good idea to just kind of call it an evening. It's been a very active morning, so to speak, right? The two encounters that left a number of you bloodied and battered. And so, 5 of you each feeling safe, you go ahead and call it an evening. And I think that is a perfect spot to pause our story and pick up next time as you finish the final traverse further into the red vivarium, and ideally finding the sanctuary that you so seek. So, thank you all for playing. I'll go ahead and take a few moments to sign out on the stream and everything, but I'll be back in just a sec. Appreciate you all playing. It's definitely fun. And just give me a few moments and I'll be right back. So, all right. Thank you all for hanging out. It's definitely been fun. If you'd like to get involved, whether that be as a player or just involved in the community as well, I think the best place to be is in our Discord. So we definitely invite you in if you would like. Absolutely. And so definitely invite you in. CJ some days is not online anymore, so I was gonna attempt to do a raid back, but I guess he jumped off. But yeah, the best place to be is in the Discord, as that is the place where I reach out first whenever I am recruiting for the next cycle of games. So if you'd like to get involved, like to jump on in, that is the best place to be. Either way, yeah, it's a roll of the dice. It might be the best place. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, it's been a long fucking day. Please, and it's only getting longer. Fucking tomorrow, the next day. But thank you all for hanging out. I hope you have a good day or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. And we'll be back this Friday to finish off the rat problem world building that we've been doing, the community and the community hangout and world building. So thank you all. Hope you have a good one. Appreciate you. And maybe we'll see you next time. Peace out, guys. Later.